y'all, it's season 3 of the Be Your Own Kind podcast, and we humbly thank you for tuning in. Be Your Own Kind's mantra is there is never an inopportune time to be yourself. In other words, be you without apologies. In this season, I will be presenting nuggets and interviewing individuals that are creating their lane and rocking it. Be sure to check out the featured businesses in the description box and follow us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and pretty much every platform. Okay, now let's take flight. Well, hi, Eric. How are you today?
I ain't gonna say I'm doing good. I'm tired. It's been a long week. And yeah, I'm tired. I'm a little exhausted. I wouldn't say tired, I'm exhausted.
Oh, wow. Just a lot on your plate.
Yeah, being a teacher, we had our Black History presentation today. We did Living Wax Museum. So each kid was a different person. Most of them had a poster board, which helped because I teach preschool. So okay. A lot of them said their presentation, they did good. Some of them, get shy or act goofy, but it was a good presentation. So, just preparing for that, making sure that went smoothly. And yeah, it's just been a long day. Then the weather here in Indianapolis is raining, supposed to sleet, snow. So I'm kind of like, please let it happen so I get some rest.
Snow day.
Yeah. So we all us teachers at the school is like, please let it be a snow day, because, whoo, yeah.
Wow, yeah, you're 45 minutes from me, so we're gonna get that same type of weather. So. Unfortunately, I work from home, so even if it's snow, nothing stops me from working.
Nobody want to hear that. We don't want to hear that.
No, but that's not fair. Like, okay, if it snows, you get a day off. If it snows for me, I still have to work. It doesn't matter what the weather is.
Yeah, but depending on your at-home job, you might be able to only have to work a little bit, or it's a chill. You can be in your pajamas, whatever. Like, we gotta go get up, and if you got your own kids, then you're dealing with other people's kids. It's like, then you gotta come home and deal with yours, just depending. My son comes over every other weekend without a doubt, but he comes over during the week, every blue often. But it's, but for the moms, they dealing with the kids, and they, even though they on our day off, it ain't no day off for them because they kids at home. So you got it good. So don't be talking trash.
I'm not talking trash. I was giving you my woes of working from home on the snow day, and you're like, I don't want to.
You was trying to throw it all in our face. I work from home.
No, I wasn't.
It's cool.
I was actually saying that on a snow day, you get a day off and I still have to work. I don't get a day off. That's all I'm saying. but you teach preschool. What made you, what inspired you to teach?
You know what? So, I was working at a call center, and I got fired because I started speaking, and I would go speak more. I was missing too much work. So a lady from my church was like, I'm a principal. I got a job opening. I'm like, okay, what is it? She was like, working with special education. I'm like, okay, I'm born with a disability, so I'm like, I kind of can understand these kids a little bit or something like that. Yeah, it definitely it wasn't what I thought it was. So I worked at another school. I got good at it. I got good at being a teacher. I got good at working with autistic kids and different stuff like that. But the township I worked in, it was like, you don't get paid, because I wasn't I don't have a degree or anything. So I'm what is it called? A classified worker. So like when it's breaks, we don't get paid. And then they weren't paying us enough. Like, they should have been paying us more. So one of my close friends is a director of the school. She was like, I got an opening, I need some teachers. I'm like, how much you pay? Do you pay more than what I get paid there? Right. And it was like, yeah. I was like, okay, bet. So this school year, I started doing preschool. So now I was working with somebody else. Now I got my own classroom. So it was very challenging working with students, especially little ones. But I still love it in the same sense because I'm their startup. I'm the startup kid. What they learn from me and move on is what they're gonna, I'm helping them build for the future. So I gotta take it serious, but still have fun with them, even though they, you know, a little baby.
Yeah, I mean, this is important, fundamentals. Like, yes, like each year we get older, we build on that, but our foundation, like that's important and has to be solid, you know, going forward. So kudos to you. I know that takes a lot of patience, and I just appreciate the educators and the healthcare, you know, providers, because you guys are on the forefront every single day, no matter what happened. Even during the pandemic, you guys had to teach at home, you know, like virtually and things like that. So I know that was like, you guys got it bad during the whole pandemic. So I just love you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying thank you, because for me, I hear it a lot more. Like when I worked with in special education, I was like, they was like, oh, okay. But now that I'm more of a preschool teacher, I hear that appreciation more, and it's like, because my love language is words of affirmation. So when I hear that, you know, that builds me up, because it's like, okay, I'm doing a good job. Because like you said, this ain't easy, and you definitely gotta have patience. If you ain't got patience, working in school is not for you.
I can imagine, which is why I'm not in school. I have an appreciation. But yeah, and I find this inspiring, because I did view one of your episodes on your podcast, and you were explaining how there was a time that you weren't even granted the opportunity of employment because of your disability. You know, so the fact that you rose above that and you found a career, something that you like, that's amazing. And that kind of segues into you calling yourself the underdog, right? I love that. I just love that, because I always have, like, what am I trying to say? I've always had admiration for I don't call it the underdog, but I call it like the underestimated, you know, because when you're not quote unquote whatever, you know, you're underestimated. And I always felt like I was a part of that too, in a sense of not belonging. And I know that we all have different definitions of where we feel underestimated, right? So you use the word underdog, and you broke barriers. You have businesses. I mean, your story is just so inspirational. So I just want you to take the time to just share your story with the audience. Yeah.
Okay. I won't, because like it's so crazy, because when I first started speaking, like, you know, how I was born and all that, but then as life went on, like I got so much more as an adult, like life didn't beat me, like the pandemic. Let me get into the story before I get to talk too much. So I was born with a rare disease called club hands, which made my arms short. So everybody has two bones. It was something with a U and then a radius. The radius is the main bone. That's the bone I don't have. And it wasn't hereditary, genetic, nothing. Nobody else in my family ever had it. It was God picked me, you know, to be that way. So when I was born, you know, my mom loved me like any mom would, but my dad didn't really rock with me. Like it's your fault to my mom. Like, why does our son look like this? Because I ain't trying to tell my age, but I was born in the 80s. And, you know, ultrasounds ain't the same. Back when I was born, it was, oh, it's a girl, oh, it's a boy. So when I came out, the doctor's like, hold on, we ain't never seen this before. It took them 24 hours to go and research and figure out, to tell my parents what the pros and cons of what my situation was. And I ended up, it's called Shriners Hospital. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's for kids with physical, mental, but a lot of physical disabilities. They so happen to be in the hospital that week. And they help people. Like if I didn't have Shriners in my life, I wouldn't have had any of the surgeries I've ever had. I had over 16 surgeries from the time I was 6 months old all the way until I was 17 years old. So I live with my mom. So my mom, you know, she gave me that confidence and all that stuff. My dad, he used to like put jackets on me and stuff like that. So my dad passed away when I was 4. He had cancer, and he could have got one of his, whatever leg it was, got it cut off or something, however, but he didn't choose to. So he ended up passing away. So I was left with a lot of void questions, like, I don't know this dude, but I'm a junior, so it's gotta mean something, you know. So I had a lot of dad issues growing up, also along with my disability. So my mom and my dad were never together, so she married my sister's dad, which is my dad. And so we move into a house, you know, school starts. I love basketball. Like, but I'm the person, I'm the parent, I'm the person, I'm loud. So I'm always watching and everything, but I'm like, man, I'm tired of watching other people. Let me go try this out. So I'm in kindergarten when I first started playing basketball, and basketball is what got me to being the confident, to being the person that I am today and throughout life, because on that basketball court, I'm gonna bust your ass. Like, I don't care who you are, I don't care what's going on, that's what I'm gonna do. Because from kindergarten and throughout, I would say to about like high school, that's what I did every single day. So I was getting bullied in school, you know, kids got jokes and all that. When I was 10 once, and I was younger than 10, I think 7 or 8. I tried to suffocate myself and kill myself because I was like, you know, life was hard. I was treated different. Kids were mean. I'm like, I'm over this. So obviously it didn't happen. And I never even told my mom or anybody until I got an adult, because it was like something, like as I'm doing it and I'm sitting there, at a certain point, something just kept telling me, get up. And then I ended up doing that. So I started getting on the team basketball like 4th, 5th grade, but I hated school. Like the learning, whatever, I hated it. So I really couldn't play or even try out for the team in middle school because my grades were so horrible. And you only got to get a 2.5. I couldn't get a 2.5 to even play. So in high school is the last time I tried out for the team. I was in 9th grade. I didn't make the team, but I got to play. I was like the manager and I got to play. So in high school, I didn't know what I was going to do in life. I graduated with a 1.7, and my mom was like, you can go to school or you can stay at home with me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm tired of these rules. I don't know what you got going on, lady, but I'm not about to stay here. And luckily, even with a 1.7, I got into a college. I go to college, I drop out twice. Like I said, school wasn't for me. Especially when I went to school with my bros, we partied, everything just wrong. So now I got to get a job. And like you were saying, I could be qualified, I could be the best person for the job. Because my arms are short, I couldn't get a job. The only way throughout life I've ever got a job is because someone knew me. Not because I think maybe, temp jobs, they don't really care. But I'm talking about a job, the good jobs I've had, someone has known me. And so I couldn't even get Social Security. I was born with a disability. Hey, that's what it's called, disability check. I can't get that. They said because I worked. I have a work history of more than what you're supposed to work with a disability. What? How can you tell me what I can work? So, right. Yeah. So, like I couldn't get help. I'm working. I'm going through the struggles of life. Like I'm living with my buddy on his couch, and my mom was like, "Come home." I'm like, man, I'm not trying to come home. I go home. And I started working and everything, and I ended up moving from Michigan. I'm from Michigan City, Indiana, and I moved here to Indianapolis. That's when life changed. My cousin, I lived with them. They were helping me out in life. Got a job. So, I'm kind of rolling. Then I meet my son's mom, and she has a daughter, which is my daughter now. Start dating, everything kind of working. I got a good job. And then my son gets born. And so I was born different. My son was too. He's albino. So and me and his mom get together, we're together, get back together, we get married, we get a divorce. And then the pandemic happened. In that process, I get a place, but because I don't get paid in the summer, I got a part-time job, but I don't ask anybody for help. Now I'm basically homeless. You could say that. I'm living with friends on couches and all that. I ended up finding a place. Now, during the pandemic, doing all that, I restarted my podcast, and then I started a clothing line. It's called Christian Dewan. It's for my son. But I created that all through, the pandemic. And I shortened my story. I didn't want to go all super deep because I could go for a long time.
This month, CBS 3 Designs will be highlighting famous TV shows. Make sure that you check us out on Etsy. Type in CBS 3 Designs and get to shopping.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss Metchi checking in, reminding you to shop my exclusive collection, Lavish Looks by Miss Metchi, where we've got shades and everything that you need to look fly. Oh, and we also offer accessories. So ladies, put a little bit of razzle dazzle in your collection today. Be sure to shop with me and follow on social media at Lavish Looks by Miss Metchi. Grab your products today at missmetchi.com/shop.
But what I want people to get from my story is to bet on yourself. And I break it down as believe, effort, and trust. You got to believe in your own abilities before anybody will ever believe in you. If I went to the court and they looked at me and said, oh, the kid with the short arms, oh, we're going to let him play a little bit. No, I'm coming on the court. I got next. It's me and my boys. You know what I'm saying? It ain't where it's like, oh, we feel. No, I believed in myself and I put in the work every single day. The effort. You got to put in heart effort, not just regular effort, not just, oh, I'm going to go to school and write my name and barely do my work. That's what I did. But when it came to life, I had to give heart effort. I'm a $145 now, but I was a $120. I'm going to say 5'7" on a good day, but I'm really 5'6". And I'm short, I'm little. But on that basketball court, I got heart. I don't care who you are, how big, how strong, you're not going to just do anything you think you're going to do to me. Like, I have that heart. Just like you got the strength, I got the heart, and that heart strength or heart effort is the same as your physical strength. Then you got to trust the process. Like, I had 16 surgeries, and my arm was broke several times. They moving skin cartilage, different stuff. If I didn't trust the doctors, if I didn't trust the surgeons, if I didn't trust the process, or I'm like, nah, mom, I don't want to get that. My arms, I wouldn't be able to do the things I am today. So you have to trust that process. Trust the progress of the process. Because it's going to be ugly. It's going to be where it's going to rain for 2 years. And you ain't got an umbrella, you ain't got a car, you got to walk to wherever you got to go. But then all of a sudden, everything changed for you. You have to trust that. And if you don't trust it, it's going to mess you up in the long haul. But bet on yourself. That's what I did. That's why I'm the underdog with a heroic heart. I bet on me. Like, I don't bet on nobody else. Like, I don't gamble. I've gambled here and there, but I bet on myself. If I make a bet with you, I know I'm going to win the bet because I already know what the outcome is. So I'm betting on me. If you don't bet on yourself, nobody else is going to bet on you. Nobody else is going to want to help you. Nobody else is going to be around you. Want to be around you. And give you an example and I'll let you speak. It's just like if your car break down, right? You sitting on the side of the road, you just standing there. Car's going fume, fume, fume. But if you get out, you lift your hood and you're acting like you're doing something or you're changing your tire. Oh, let me see if I can help this person. Because you bet on yourself. You might not know what you're doing, but you attempt to try. And then somebody else comes along and be like, oh, you don't got no tools? I got you. You know what I'm saying? So bet on yourself with whatever you're doing.
That's perfect. That is perfect. What you said, you actually answered like half my questions, but that's perfect, because people only pivot off how you feel about yourself anyway. There are people out there that can read a person that's super confident and not to know how they're gonna, maneuver around that person. And so you're right. If you have low confidence and you don't believe in yourself, it's very impossible to kind of demand that from someone else. Like, you have to believe in you more than anything, and that attracts, help, that attracts opportunities. So I just love that you said that. Like, I love that. And it's almost like I always say I do it scared. Like, a lot of people are like, well, you do this. I'm fearful all the time, but I know that in the past I did something I was scared about, and it worked out. So I just keep going along with it, until I get great at it. But I love the way you said that. You kind of threw off all my questions with that. Because that's your inner power, right? You betting on yourself because you've experienced people not betting on you. So you're like, man, screw this. If I'm gonna make anything happen, I got to make it happen. I can't wait on somebody else to make it happen for me. And the irony of you not really liking school and you being a teacher, I find that it kind of went full circle there. Like when you said that, I'm like, a lot of educators' stories start off like that. Though. That's so ironic to me.
Yeah, the funny thing is my little sister went to college, became a teacher, and she don't teach, and I'm the one that teach. And it's so funny to me.
That is. Most educators are like, I hate school. I'm like, what? In school all the time. Every day of your life. So your alias is the underdog with the heroic heart. How did you, I know, even though you just told your story, but what was that moment where you decided to be the rescuer?
So I was 30. But this the thing. Now that I'm older and I look back, I've always been like a helper. Mm-hmm. I always had so I have a clothing line and I just made a hoodie. It's called Lovable Asshole. And that's me. Like you might come across, I'm gonna say what you're thinking, but you don't really say it. I'm gonna say it, but I've always been that kind-hearted person. I always kind of like been helpful to kids, even younger, even being a kid, helping other kids out and stuff like that. But it was when I was 30. Dr. Eric Thomas, speaker, he has a video on Facebook. And the video, he loud, he talking to me. I'm like, man, why is this dude like talking to me like this? Like, dang, he's smacking me in the face. So I joined his community. He so happens to come here in Indianapolis, and I froze up when I met him, but the brains of his whole business and empire, I talked to him. He told me, do this, this, and this. So I started speaking, and I got my first opportunity to speak. This was August when that happened. November, I got an opportunity to speak. I would just start emailing people like, hey, can I come speak? Blah, blah, blah. A lady in the community did. And when people afterward, I was nervous. Like, I know I kind of messed up, whatever, but people was like, you inspired me. That motivated me. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So I started going to schools. I started going to the detention center. And when I started going and people would be like, you're inspiring me, or kids, they see me out in the streets, be like, hey man, you remember me? I was at the detention center and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow. So from that point, it was like, okay, I like to talk. I'll talk all day. Let me figure out how I can talk and inspire people, but also monetize it too. So it was me, it was my 30th birthday. I went on a trip, had a little too much fun, missed my flight, and I seen one of my closest friends, business. Like he was like, all right, bro, the weekend over with, I gotta get back to work. He had a clothing line at the time. And he, showed me all the business. I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. And that kind of started me on the entrepreneurial speaking, being able to be an author, having a mentor program, coaching. Like never would have thought all this would have happened. And it all happened in a small time frame. And I just been rolling with it ever since.
That's dope. That's super dope. Once again, you took a chance. You jumped into something that you had no idea about, and you just maximized on it. And sometimes the best thing to do is to just do it. No thought. You'll outthink it. You'll talk yourself out of it. And when the door is open, just running that thing and just allow God to just do his magic, because that's what he does. He perform miracles. He open up doors and say, hey, just trust me, get in there, and he just line up all your steps going forward. So that's dope. That's super dope. And what's also even more dope is not only do you use your inner power to believe in yourself, you actually spread that to your son, because the business you have is with your son. I believe you said that, right?
Yeah. So It's called Christian Dewan, and that's his name, Christian Dewan Jones.
Okay.
And the reason I did it is because when my biological father passed away, he didn't leave me nothing. He left me with questions. Like this, that, and that. I'm still learning about him from my brother. I have a brother by him. So I learned certain stuff. And I'm like, I don't want my son to not be able to have nothing once I leave. Right. And I was like, he's into fashion. Let's do this. I do all the work. He don't do nothing but tell people he got a business. So if you want to say we in business together, you can. But I do everything. Actually, I got Black Educator, one of our shirts, because I'm an educator. So I create different stuff. But yeah, I did it for him because I want him to understand ownership. Like he'll be 8 in April. If he don't want to go to college, you ain't got to, bro. Like we're in the times where college ain't necessary. But if you want to go, you'll be able to have enough money to pay for your own if you want to go. You know,
Right.
So I just wanted to leave him with something, not leave him like I'm going to be gone, but create something that he can have of his own, because his name is LLC. He can do whatever he wants with it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us in our community, they don't think about that. And I think I might be the first person in my family with my own business, or he might be, and he was 7 when it started, 6 maybe. So, you know, setting a different trend in my family. So definitely that's really all it was. It was just trying to be something different. Even though business ain't booming, it's good to say I have a business. And it kind of sucks when you gotta do business taxes and you forget to write stuff down throughout the year. And you gotta get all your stuff together and you're like, oh, okay, this is not as easy. Yeah.
I have one word for you, my friend: QuickBooks.
I don't know. See, I'm gonna have to tell you offline why I don't like QuickBooks.
Okay.
It's changed, and I don't like them right now. They
Okay.
doing something funny with the money, and yeah, I'm ready to fight QuickBooks.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. But that has been my lifesaver because, yeah, it is hard to keep up with, you know, all of that with business. Business come with a lot of stuff. So at least he's starting early. He knows the do's or don't, and you're creating a legacy and generational wealth. Because I feel like when I was younger, like, and I don't know if this happened to you too, I feel like we were around the same age. It's like college. That was just stuffed down my throat. Like it was no other option. You know, now years later, yeah, okay, I went. However, I have all this student loan debt, and I see people that never even stepped foot into college, just land their dream job, millionaires, online stores, regular stuff, and I'm just like, I didn't even know it was an option to work for myself. I went to school to get in debt to work for someone else and help put money in somebody else's pocket. What a revelation.
Yeah, so that definitely, you know, school was talked about. But for me, I always had, I'm not working for nobody else. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do, even as a kid. I didn't like someone telling me what I had to do and all that. It just didn't sit right with me. So I kind of knew at some point, I just didn't know what it was. But yeah, like, it's college. Like, so, like I said, my son's sister is like my daughter. She's a junior. And I'm like, hey, what do you want to go to school for? She tells me, I'm like, when you go to college, if you're going to go, like, I don't want to tell her not to because her mom, you know, she's for it. I'm like, when you go, don't go to just learn how to do a regular job. Go and learn how to be the boss of that company. Learn how to operate in it. Don't just go to school to go to school. Go to school to learn something where you can be the boss when you leave, not where you can be the employee. Because sometimes we don't take advantage of the networking of the opportunity when we're in college, and you be seeing a lot of college people and you be like, dang, I should have been cool with bro. Like, you understand now as an adult, but when you're young, you're like, I ain't messing with bro, they corny or and the corny people is getting that bread. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
And I like people, little female, oh, you corny. Hey, call me corny all you want to. You gonna be mad you missed out on this corny. So, but anyways, but yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying with college. Like, and you didn't see entrepreneurs, you seen hustlers, business. You seen people that was fake running business. They ain't had a license, they ain't had nothing right. And it's like, now, you know, having a business, if you don't got that LLC, if you don't got that paperwork, that paper won't work. If you ain't got that paperwork, your paper ain't gonna work. You might, you know, have a little season where you booming, but don't let that man called IRS catch you doing anything of that. You will regret it. Trust and believe. Yeah, you will regret it. So it's definitely good to be in different times where we don't have to tell our kids to go to college. Or the highest paid YouTuber, guess how old they are? 8.
Did you say 8?
8.
What are you doing? Playing with toys or slime or something?
No, he's reviewing toys. His parents buy him toys and he reviews them. and everybody watches them. And it's a little girl, I forgot what she does, but it's like 2 kids that making at least 25 million.
Wow.
So
to play with toys.
So if I tell my son, because my son's into that, he just don't. I think it's because I don't know how to dominate YouTube yet, so it's hard for I'm showing him what I learned, but I think once, not saying he could dominate before me, but once I figure out how I can have someone show him what he really needs to do, I believe, because of his personality, and he don't get a lot of female viewers because he's a little cute kid, and they be, oh, he got the red hair and all that. But I tell him, just be you, bro. Don't do nothing. Like, that's one thing that I want the listeners to be you. Don't be nobody else. This is how I went to work like this. I had a little jean shirt over this, but I had this shirt, this hat, and I had some cool kicks on. You know why? Because the kids see me. Oh, Mr. Eric. Oh, I like your shoes. Oh, I like your jacket. All right, that's cool. Y'all understand that y'all like me. Now let me educate you. Now, when you get out of line, sometimes now I can just look at them. Did you really ask me that? One girl asked me, did you really ask me that? So it's like when you're yourself, people ain't gonna like you right away. But then when they see the value you add, it's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do to take away from who you are. You could have face tats. You could be whatever. You could be in the different community. It starts with an L. I don't know all the letters that go with it. I ain't gonna mess it up because I know how that go. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You can look any kind of way and be yourself. That's what people want, is the real person. The real, what that say? Be your own kind. Be your own kind.
Yep.
And then you will be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. I didn't mean to go off the rabbit trail, but that kind of led me. And then I kept looking at the sign behind you, and it kind of fit to what I was going on. Yes, boom, I can rock it with that.
But that's exactly why I started this platform. You know, I said it kind of earlier. Like I always kind of battle with me. You know, because it's just like I just felt like an outsider, like for real. And I'm just like, well, something must be wrong with me because everybody else like this, or everybody else does this, and I don't really care for this. So maybe it's something wrong with me. Let me just keep editing myself. Then I realized there's so much pressure to edit myself because I gotta be this way with one person, be this way with the next person. Now I'm not remembering my personas because I'm like, oh wait, it's like you didn't tell me that. I didn't know you did that. Oh crap. You know, so it just was too much energy. And it was just so less energy and so easy to just be me. Look, if you don't like what I said and how I am, just scram. You know, like you don't have to be around it, but I have to be me to survive. I have to be me to be mentally healthy because it messed me up mentally with that. You know, it made me always feel defected. And who wants to walk around feeling like they don't belong? You know what I'm saying? Who wants that feeling? And so I started this platform based off that because I felt like there were other people that felt that way, especially when in the world of social media, when everybody is posting fantasies and everybody trying to live up to other people's fantasies. That's a lot of pressure. When you could just be who you are, love what you have, love who you with, and just live your life and stay in your life.
Exactly. But one thing I want to say to what you said, you got to be you, not to just survive, but to thrive. Because you can't be somebody else if you really want to thrive. Because when you get around people who are real, who are themselves, that ain't you.
Right.
You know, you can fake the funk for so long, but it ain't really fake it till you make it. It's really work till you make it. And you got to work on not edit yourself, but work on being a better version of yourself. Because as you get older, as you go through life, like you understand, I don't want to do that no more. Like my buddy I work with, he's like, yeah, my birthday, we going out. I'm like, cool. He's like, yeah, I'm like, all right, I might, but I probably won't. I don't go out. That don't excite me no more. Like, it stopped exciting me paying somebody to go in somewhere, buy stuff there, and the only thing I'm trying to get is a woman out of there. I can go to the grocery store and be in my dad clothes and spark a conversation and talk to a woman and she might be better off than Shaquila I met in the club. So I don't know. You just as you get older, you understand life and how you have to be you. Like, you gotta be you. I was born 1 out of 1 million people. I'm unique. I wasn't born like anybody else. There's not a lot of people that know the everyday struggle that I go through, but I'm still myself. I'm a lovable asshole. You either gonna love me or you not gonna like me at all, because you like, he gonna tell it how it is. That's just who I am.
Right.
And that's whoever you are, that's how you have to be if you want to be great. You can be average and be fake, but if you want to be great, be yourself. Because if you ain't yourself, like you said, it's too much work. It's too much. I'm gonna tell. So I was married and I was cheating, right? It was long. That ain't the reason why everything, but I was cheating, and I had to be a different person because I'm doing all this extra, and it was too much damn work. Like, a brother was stressing, like going through it. I'm going through counseling. I'm like, this is not it, because I wasn't myself.
Right.
And so everybody, I still have to deal with my son's mom, but I don't, like, everybody's gone, because you'll learn as you go in life. Them same people you was cool with ain't gonna be cool with you as you continuously grow and be yourself. Now, they gonna be cool with you if you faking the funk. But if you your real self, you'll see. I don't know how old everybody that listens to this, but you'll see. You'll see, like, be yourself and keep working on you, and you'll understand your purpose, and you'll understand, okay, I can't do this no more. I don't need to do this. I don't care if nobody like that I don't do this. I don't care that nobody like that I go to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Oh, well, that's when I want to go to bed. Like, right. I don't want to cake on the phone with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no. And it's nothing against that person, but my sleep is more important than you right now. My peace is more important. If I don't get no sleep,
that right there for me. Yeah. My peace is everything to me.
Yeah, I just made a shirt. I love my peace. Like, I love my peace. I don't care how you feel. That's one thing you can't care how people feel when they feeling negative towards you, or they stopping you from whatever you doing, because you gotta care how your kids feel, care how your mom, your siblings, and all that. But you can't care how people feel about you, because everybody gonna have an opinion. You can have $1 in your pocket, you could be a billionaire. They still gonna have something to say. So be you. Everybody think Kanye crazy. His bank account say different. Like, it's some of you, people struggling, but you worried about him. His bank account good. If he wanted to stop doing everything he was doing and nobody ever heard him, he could.
He'll be good. That's why I love him so much. I know a lot of people are against people loving him, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I know he gonna be Kanye.
And you have to be
right.
Kanye yourself. You have to be yourself. And I'm telling you, like, I had to rebrand. I had 3 versions of my podcast. The first time I wasn't myself. I was trying to motivate, and I'm doing all that. I cuss, I talk trash. I'm a little ghetto. I have crazy stories. So I'm like, let me be me. And then it started booming. And then the only reason I had to rebrand is because my co-host ended up passing away from a car accident. So I had to do something different. But you have to understand, you don't have to change, but you do have to rebrand yourself. Because as you grow, you're going to be as a different person.
Well, you evolve. Here's the thing. Change is inevitable whether you want it or not. So either you're going to be in charge of that evolution, or you just going to let life take over. It's inevitable. We're not going to be the same person we were yesterday. 10 years ago, 20 years ago. We're not. That's just not how it works. What you say?
You are in a bad situation. If you the same person you was 10 years ago, get a mirror and go look in it for about a minute, and that should help you, because you shouldn't be the same person you was. You shouldn't even be the same person you was last year.
That's my thing.
The same person you was last month.
Right.
You ain't even supposed to be the same person you was yesterday. People don't understand that though.
But here's the thing, you will change physically, but if your mindset stays in that same area.
Yeah.
But life keeps going on. One thing about life, it keeps going on. When we dead and gone, it will still keep going on because. So you might as well just roll with it and change and evolve with time. Like that's just how I look at it.
Yeah, you can't be in 2022 with a flip phone. Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Some people love they flip phones though. It's some people that will not let they flip phones.
It's the technology now. It ain't even about the device. It's the technology and the new devices. It's so
they don't understand that stuff.
Yeah, they don't understand that. That's just like when we were kids, we just got the computer. You know, look at where we at now. So think about our parents they might not have had the resources or anything. Now, hey, go Google it. Whatever you want to do, go Google it. Go on YouTube, you're gonna learn it. And it's simpler because you gotta evolve with the times. Like if you got a business, you gotta be on social media, but you gotta discipline yourself not to be on social media. Post, you know, because you can scroll and be on there 30 minutes like, dang, what is going on? TikTok, you be watching videos and you've been on there. I'm like, I just got a TikTok, but I don't go on there. Like I try not to, like I'll post and get off. Like I don't go on there. But you gotta understand the times that we're in, and like you say, you gotta evolve. It's just like basketball. Do you watch basketball?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Do you know who Steph Curry is?
Yes, I do. I like his wife.
Okay, Steph Curry. He's 6'3", slim, like nobody thought he was gonna be able to do nothing. But he's the Michael Jordan of today's game. Like he's not LeBron. Like LeBron is 6'8".
LeBron.
But the 3-point, everybody want to shoot a 3 because of him, because of Steph Curry. He's involved the game. Boys is 6'10", 300 pounds, looking like a lineman. I want to shoot 3. If you don't take your big butt in the paint and post up, like what are you doing? And that's what is evolved. It's like when you do, it's like our parents. They'll talk about us, well, back in my day, and we do that now, I do that now, but it's like times is different. Like, they don't go outside because it's crazy people outside too. Like, you just can't let your kids be outside. Like when we was kids, we was outside, better be home for the street life. But time has evolved, and if you don't evolve as a parent or a grandparent, you're gonna be trying to whoop your kids and ain't never talked to them. You ain't had a conversation. You don't know why little Johnny didn't have a bad day, but you want to whoop him because he had bad behavior. Didn't you have a bad day? Didn't you do something dumb at work? Oh, but nobody got to whoop you, but you want to whoop your kid. Make it make sense. Like I don't whoop I give my son a warning. Hey, now if you do it again, you know what time. Don't even you know it. Just come on in and take this whooping. But times have evolved. When I was a kid, I got whooped. It was no question. If the talking went as the belt was hitting. Why did you boom? You know, so it's different times and you have to evolve. And the reason why I said all those things to make people understand it's the simplest things in evolving. It's not, you ain't got to do a whole bunch of extra. It's just little steps that you got to take. And it's mainly your mind.
Yep, your mindset.
Your mind. If you don't change your mindset, you just be comfortable. You can be comfortable. Your chair look real nice. If your mindset ain't changed, you'll sit in that chair forever. But if your mind changed at a certain point, when you get more income coming in, you're gonna have a different chair. You're gonna have 2 chairs. You're gonna have a different mic. You're gonna have a whole studio. Right. Because your mindset is, you already got that idea in your head right now. But you gotta work there and get there and evolve as it goes. Because you can't have the same show as the first episode as the 100th episode. So you understand where you have to grow and evolve, and people just gotta get around. Just go ahead. Cause I feel like I've been talking a little much. I'm gonna let you.
No, it's your interview. You can keep talking, but yes. I feel like you're a little psychic. I was looking at chairs today actually, but I my anniversary, my BYOK anniversary in April. So I started looking at my first YouTube channel, and I'm like, wow. I was like in the corner in the bedroom. Now I'm in a whole nother room. I got a little sign. I just bought some lights eventually to put up there, some more lights or whatever. And I'm like, wow, how I look from, how I am from then to now is so different. So it's just funny you said that, because I'm literally going through old stuff so I can like play it or whatever. And I'm like, man.
Yeah, it's like that. Like you said, I'm in my room in the little corner. I got my little light I got from Five Below. I'm on my nice little tablet. I remember I had a phone. That's how I did. That's how I used to do a lot of my videos. Is my phone. Now I have something different. And I go back. I don't know what I was thinking when I started my YouTube. I had the homeless beard, like long, just rugged. I was looking rough, but I was still doing it. And I was scared because it's like, who am I talking to? Like, is anybody gonna listen when I post this? Is like, and people and they was like, man, well, I love it. And it's like, you've been saying it the whole time, like, you gotta do it scared. You just gotta do it. One thing I learned, my mom told me when I was younger, you gotta try it first before somebody else will help. Because if you don't, then nobody else gonna believe that you can do it. And so, or you could fake the funk. So I would tell my friends, I can't zip up my coat, or I would just have them doing stuff. They was cool. They like, all right, I'll help you, bro. My mom was like, hold on, why are you doing that? No, you need to do that because it was easy for me to do that, but it's gotta be hard for you to grow. If it don't challenge you, if it don't make you want to pull your hair, get gray hair, if it don't make you like say, skip this, I'm over this, I quit. You talking to yourself because you quitting on yourself. But if you don't have those emotions to where it makes you grow, because you don't learn anything until you actually go through a lesson.
Man.
If your life is always good, you ain't gonna learn jack. You ain't gonna learn jack. You have to go through all the lessons. I was listening to a podcast. I ain't this mature yet, but the dude said, pray for your lessons. I ain't there yet. I'm still going through. I'm still trying to figure out these regular lessons to help me get to a certain point. I ain't there yet, but I understand. He said you got to be mature. I ain't that mature yet, but that's where you want to be. Where you like, all right, God, I'm ready. I'm good. Come on, let me get this lesson. Because after every lesson is a blessing.
It is.
And people don't want that. Like, people want it easy. Like the kids nowadays, they want that microwave. That's
because of technology though. Like you just said earlier, Google it. It's that instantaneous. So they don't have patience, and it's because of technology. Like, it's no fault of theirs. Everything just comes so quick. That's why everybody go to Amazon versus going to. People will not go to the store, but sit by the door and wait on Amazon Prime for 2 days for something they could have easily went to Walmart for. You know, like it's that convenience. I'll wait that extra day if I don't have to go outside. You know, that's just how today is. You don't even have to go to the grocery store to get your groceries. You can order them online and somebody else can bring them to you.
Yeah, but see, when you do that, they might forget something. They might not grab the kind that you wanted. They
always forget something when I do it. Yeah. Always.
Oh, so you're one of those people that don't go to the grocery. See, I ain't bold enough to order yet, but I hate going. I've always hated because people just be rude. People don't say excuse me. Like, it just be too much going on. It be one line. You be like, come on, bro. Like, where? Like, I don't like. I have. It's crazy because I'm a teacher and I got patience, but like outside of that, I don't got, like, in the car, I don't got patience. And it's so funny that I just thought of that. I really, like, I got patience when I really need it, but I'm impatient. Like, I want stuff to, like, not stuff to come to me quick, but like, you know, if I'm in the car, if I'm in the girl, I'm trying to go in and out. I don't need to be here 30 extra minutes because this line is long. Like, no, I came in here for these specific things. I'm going in and I'm coming out. Like, but yeah, like you said, it's the technology. It makes it convenience, but if you really want a good meal, you need a slow cooker. You gotta marinate the meat. You gotta, you know, go get the real vegetables and all that. Put it in there. Let it simmer. Let it, cause when you do that, if you go get the little pot roast, microwavable, you put it in there. Oh, it might be good, but you gotta throw some extra seasoning. You gotta doctor it up.
Right.
But when you do it in that slow cooker, it's already cooking for you. It's already doing it. When it's done, that's just like, a lot of people look at somebody and be like, oh, they're overnight. They ain't an overnight nothing. They've been putting in work when nobody even knew who they were. And now they got an opportunity because they was consistent in doing it. And now they got an opportunity. Now, oh, where you come from? Bro, I've been doing this for, I'm gonna give the ego version of myself. So I'm seeing people speak. I'm like, bro, I can do that. I'm like, they ain't even that good. But he been doing it for 12 years. So that's why people know him. I've only been doing it 1 or 2 years. Ain't nobody, who are you? They don't know me. Now I'm in the game 6 years. So I got a little experience. Now I understand. Oh, I get why people was, I get, and you understand it because you trusted the process. You let it slow cook. You gotta let it slow cook. You can't just wake up and think it's gonna happen. Because if you can't do nothing consistent over a certain amount of days, guess what? You're gonna be in the same position you was as the first day you thought you was gonna be consistent.
True. I don't even have anything to after that. You're right.
But people, you gotta and I know me and you are on a journey, and we have our ups and downs and days.
Yeah.
And certain, so I ain't telling y'all anything. I'm telling y'all I've done or I've been through it. So with the consistency, when I was consistent doing something, I'm winning. When I'm not as consistent, the wins we in triple overtime. When the game gonna get over? And that's because I wasn't consistent.
That's true. Consistency also takes a lot of work too, but you're right. You just fall behind on your timeline if you're not consistent with it. So it's like I'd rather just get tired and try to go to bed on time so I can just start over another day versus skipping and not getting anything done. So it makes a lot of sense. So I saw that you have 2 podcasts. Did you just mention you have one, Underdawg Talk and It's a Jones Thing?
Yes. So with It's a Jones Thing, that's the rebrand. So I started by myself. And then I started interviewing different people, kind of like Underdawg Talk. And then my friends, they were like, one of them, her name's Crystal, rest in peace to her. She, me and her would just go at it. Not go at it in a bad way, go at it when we have debates and we both was tourists. So we both going at it. I'm like, hey, come on, get on the show. So then it was her and her cousin, which is my friend too, and then one of my bros. So we just turned it into us thing, and we talk about different topics. We had different segments, and Crystal ended up getting she got hit by a car. Don't know if the person was intoxicated, if they was texting, but something had to happen for them to hit her walking across the street, walk in the morning exercising with her boyfriend. It was crazy, happened out the blue. So the Thursday before this happened on a Monday, we had a meeting. We gonna change the name. We gonna change it to tourist shit, because all 4 of us was tourists. So we had what we gonna do, boom, 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 and then that happened. So at the end, so from August until end, I didn't do a podcast because that was Fanny, her name. That was her best friend, best cousin. So it was hard for her to come over my house, record, and I understood. And so I had to pray. I had to talk to Crystal. I'm like, hey, tell me what to do. Should I fire them because they ain't on it? What do I need to do? And it was start over. And that's how I got Underdawg Talk. And it's basically what I was doing before they joined. I'm interviewing different people, just having conversations with people that have a story. It don't matter what it is. I've had people talk about weight loss, mental health, a dad talking about being a single father, full-time father. I got another lady coming on talking about regular health, what different stuff you can eat. So different stuff just to help you become a better person. And that's all I want to be able. I wanted to be able to have my own show and control it how I wanted to. And that's why I started, because I had a radio show with a buddy. The radio station didn't work out for us because they was on BS, and he didn't want to do the podcast. So I'm like, skip it. And now I know what podcast really can do. You can podcast and stop working your job if you be consistent and you evolve. So that's what I'm trying to be on. And so I ain't gotta go. I'm still gonna work with the kids, but I ain't gonna have to clock into nobody's job.
Be more of a mentor or mentorship or something like that.
Yeah, go into the school, get back into the schools. Hopefully, I haven't went to a school and spoke since COVID, but I used to love going into the schools and speaking and seeing the kids, talking to them, getting to know what's going on, what's your music. That's why I asked my daughter, a lot of questions, and I listen to the music well, I don't listen to all that crap that they listen to, but I try to. I give it a chance. Yes.
I try. I don't understand what half of them are saying though. Like, I'm really trying hard. Like, I like the baby voice, but I don't know what he's saying ever. But I'll sit there and watch the video and be like, he's animated, so I like his videos more so than his actual songs. So.
I think for me with the younger ones, so I don't know if you watch $1 Million Worth of Game with Gilly and Wallow 267. Wallow, he interviews like different artists. They do a lot of young ones. Gilly used to rap, so like he interviewed Lil Baby, and I was like, I kind of listened to him, but I'm like, I don't really know. So I found out who he was as a person, and when I went and listened to it, I'm like, that's like like out of all the young rappers, the Baby, you gonna hear that on the playlist. And the Baby, like, I get what you're saying. He almost sounds similar, but when you give him a chance, he actually saying something you got to get to know.
He is, yeah.
So it's all about your preference. I'm a lyrical dude. I don't rap, but I can rap. So I'm a lyrical wordplay. So if it ain't triggering that, I'm like, I'm not even going to mess with it. I'll give any artist, anybody a shot. But if I don't rock with it, I don't rock with it. I mess with Adele. You might hear me in here singing Adele.
She's good.
Hear like my playlist is so crazy. So I listen to is it Fergie? Big Girls Don't Cry.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, so that's on my daily playlist. It's because if you listen to the words of what she's saying, and after a relationship, it helped. Like, hey, you gotta put your big boy drawers on and get yourself together. Right. That's over with. You can't. So I listen to stuff that talks to my soul, talk to my heart, or that I've been in a situation, and it's like, okay, I used to be here. Now, so the music is different for me, but I'm very lyrical, and I don't. Yes, a lot of I don't know. I feel like if I put out an album, when I get to that point where I got that money, I'm definitely putting out a mixtape. I don't care how old I am. I'm putting out a mixtape just because I can do it. And I'm going to have, good producers, kind of like Country Wayne. I don't know if you watch him. He dropped he's a comedian, but he dropped the album as his alter ego, and he dropped a real album, and it's actually dope. So I'm going to do that one day. Like, just drop an album. And if they like it, they don't. If they do, hey, they rock with it. But I'm definitely gonna do that. I actually got a couple songs written, but we ain't gonna tell nobody about it.
You kind of just did.
yeah, I did. But see, you weren't even supposed to say that. You were supposed to just keep it rolling and go to a question or.
I missed my cue. I'm sorry, I missed my cue. But the one song that I did understand, I'm gonna go back to this for a minute. The one song that I did understand for the Baby, which would be my favorite because I only understood what he was saying, was "Lonely," the one he did with Lil Wayne. And maybe because I really love Lil Wayne, I put my ear to the speaker a little closer. But it was kind of real when he was talking about losing his brother and all of the controversy and the thing. He said, pretty much, he said, "Yeah, I have all this wealth, but I still feel like I have nothing. I feel like I don't have anyone. With all of this, I still feel lonely." So, of course, Lil Wayne killed his verse. But so I love that song, like, because I actually can understand what he's saying. So I'm not saying they're not saying anything. It's just I have to really concentrate on some of the people. Like, okay, let me go to lyricgenius.com and just read while you're rapping.
Oh, what you doing? You telling your age. You telling your age with that. I remember looking up the lyrics. See, we didn't have that. We had to go look up the lyrics. You had to listen to the song 55 times just to know everything. So I definitely understand.
And I used to be so pissed when I got the CD and they didn't have the words on there. Like, look, you pay all this money for this and you can't even give me the words. And I got to listen to this over and over again just to sing along.
Especially like if you listen to Bone Thugs or Twister. Oh, yeah.
Just put the lyrics in the paper, the little, some people might not even know what I'm talking about, but just put the lyrics in there, like, just put it in there.
Yeah, we used to have the tape, then we had the CD, yeah. Now, I'm glad you just said, speaking of evolving, so I used to work at one of the ghetto malls here in Indianapolis, I'm selling CDs. So one dude was like, "Hey bro, you got a SoundCloud, you got an Instagram?" "No, I ain't got that." He's like, all right, well, I'm cool. And he got mad. It's like, bro, it's 2020. Yeah, it was like 2020, maybe 2021. Bro, nobody listens to CDs anymore. No. Nobody. Because guess what? We go to our phone. We get to pick whatever we want to listen to, however we feeling that day, whatever song, it don't matter, whatever song you want to listen to at that moment, YouTube. Or whatever music thing you got. So that's where we listen to our music. So if you ain't got that, if I can't go to that, I might buy, you might get some people to buy just to support. You ain't gonna make no real money. You ain't gonna move because the times have evolved.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good, times have evolved. I might have to talk about that because okay, I was born in 86. What year were you?
83.
No, you're not older. You're seasoned. You got a little more season.
First of all, it's only 3 years. You acting like I said 1976.
So I'm just gonna say you're closer to 40 than I am.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at first you were old until you found out I was older. Now you feeling a little younger. I kind of see what's going on.
I look young too. I don't know.
You do. But when you like what you're saying, and you're like in my 30s, and I was listening, I'm like, he's around the same age I am. Huh?
Why are we going back to the past? You're talking about something we talked about 20 minutes ago. I don't know what is going on here.
I had to go backwards because
time is evolving. We're evolving.
3 whole years and you just trying to go strong like I'm super old. You're seasoned. Really? So. Some stuff changed when I was born after you. So, and plus, what possibly happened within that 3 years? I'm saying.
The crack epidemic.
Oh, really? Are we gonna really? Because people was more sober when I was born than when you were born. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know what you're doing. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here.
So at BYOK, we have a staple question, and that is, if you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be and why?
Heart. The reason why, because when I break heart down, it's heroic effort, and realizing truth. Because you got to be a hero to yourself. You got to have that heroic effort, no matter who you are, what you're doing. And then you got to realize your truth. I had to realize my arms are short. They're not going to grow any longer. Like, I'm going to have to deal with certain stuff throughout life. And that's just what it is. Like, I can't be ashamed that I look this way or anything. You got to realize your truth. And then when you do that, you have heart. You're going to succeed. That's why I'm the underdog with heroic heart. Because I ain't just the underdog. I got that heart, and that heart will push you further than a lot of physical, a lot of anything. It's just like when you got a car, you got the gas, and bing, it's on E. You still got another tank in there to get you. You might not be right at the gas, but you can get to that next one, even if it's a couple miles, because it's an extra tank. It's an extra tank in you. It's called heart. Like, you can't give up. You gotta go to that extra tank, and that extra tank gonna push you to where you need to
go. I love that. You have just dropped so many wisdom nuggets in this episode. So I hope, listeners, that you are inspired, for real. Because I totally am. It's like you're speaking to me right now. Consistency, confidence, things of that sort. So I'm just drinking it all up. I really am.
I haven't been able to be on. I've been, my own podcast, so I'm interviewing other people, and I try to drop a little stuff in there, but I haven't been on no one's show in a minute. I think it's been about a month or so. So I like to talk. So when I get an opportunity, and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk my talk.
Yeah, and you're right. It is different. I was on someone's podcast last month, and it was awkward for people to ask me the questions, and I can just talk. And I'm like, oh wow, I give little nuggets about, like you said, in the interview about myself, but to really just talk about myself, it was so different. it was such a different experience for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where can people find you?
So like my personal speaking page on Instagram is Eric Jones Jr. Speaks. Eric Jones Jr. on LinkedIn. Everything else is Underdawg Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook, or Christian Dewan J on Instagram, and then Christian Dewan on Facebook. That's where, and on LinkedIn, Eric Jones Jr. I said that, and Eric Jones Jr. Speaks on Twitter, and then on TikTok, it's Underdawg Talk. Yeah. I do more on TikTok. I do more of like my school stuff because kids are funny.
Okay. Well, you have anything upcoming before we end the episode that you want to tell anybody about?
Yes, if you're in the Midwest area, I will be in a fashion show. I can't remember exactly what the name, like the full name, but it's April 23rd. Be here in Indianapolis. If you go to my pages, there'll be, I think we'll start promoting this week. That's what the lady said. Mm-hmm. So it's my first fashion show. So I'm a little nervous. I'm putting stuff together. I'm a fashionable person, but I'm kind of nervous. Check out my podcast every week, Wednesday at 5 o'clock, Underdawg Talk. I definitely got to get you on the show.
I'm honored. Yeah, thank you. I'll be there.
All right, so that's kind of the only thing my focus this year, starting off the year, is just the podcast and the clothing line. Stop trying to do 1,000,000 different things. So those two things are coming. I'll be 36 coming up too. So I got to figure out where I'm going for my birthday. And that's about it. And if my son's birthday coming up, I was gonna say if y'all wanted to help sponsor the trip, but we already paid for it. But we taking them to Universal Studios. So,
you need spending money.
Yeah. Go to those. Go listen to the podcast and listen to the ads. And I think you can. I got where you can leave a tip. You can that comes. So do that. It's for the trip. It's for Christian. It's not for me. It's not for me or my pockets. It's not that I'm the ATM of the family, but just for him. Okay.
Gotcha.
Help us out, Dad. Help Dad out.
Gotcha. Well, Eric, it has been a pleasure. I look forward to being a guest on your podcast. However, today I want to thank you for being a guest on mine and just showering us with all that wisdom of yours. Like you had it stored up for today. So I love it.
Well, thank you for the opportunity of being on your show. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. And I don't know. I think it's kind of have been a little, like I said, like when you have your own show, you don't really get to talk how you want to. So it's a good opportunity. I love to talk, and I'm glad I can make you laugh. And you didn't want to boot me off or anything, even though you tried to bully me a few times.
Oh Lord.
More because you're seasoned than I am, but we'll leave that alone.
You just gonna keep saying it, huh?
And you don't have to keep pinpointing that point. Like you could have I said a lot of different things tonight, so you could have pinpointed anything, but you keep pinpointing that. I don't know.
You kind of just brought that up again. I do have the power to edit it out, but I won't, because then people won't understand the laughing. Yeah. Don't take it out. Like they need to know. They need to know what.
Nothing.
Okay.
They just need to hear the whole show. I don't think there's any editing needed. I didn't use any bad language. I think they just need to hear everything. Just let them.
Okay. All right. 3 whole years, everybody. So
What year did you graduate high school?
2001. Yeah.
Oh, so you was just a senior when I was a freshman.
I just kind of feel like you're just making more seasoned comments. Just
I was. That one was really saying like you ain't really, because my little sister is 3 years younger than me, so it was like when she was younger, it's like but now she got older, like if she got friends her age and stuff, it's like y'all ain't really that young, y'all really not. So I'm not really that younger and you're not that much seasoned, or you just got more seasoned. You was marinated a little, whatever. But
oh Lord, I feel like you're making it worse. But Actually, that's okay, because if I don't age, I die. So I'm okay with aging.
I've made you laugh. And laughter brings longevity in life. So I've helped you live longer today by laughing at my jokes. So it's all good.
It is, because I can continue living my seasoned life.
Yeah, laugh. You might not laugh as much. You can always come back to this episode and get a laugh.
Do you hear this, audience? Do you hear this?
I'm just saying. Now, all I'm gonna say, before you close it, don't try to come for me on my show. I'm just gonna let you know now. Don't come for me on my show.
I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of younging jokes and a lot of younging statements that I probably will interject now, because you have for 3 minutes called me seasoned in so many ways.
That's you can do all the young jokes, but I'm mature now, and I'm not really young. I like the aunties and grandmas and stuff of that sort. So you're not really gonna get me. I like being young and looking young.
I'm glad you like that, and I like aging, so that's great. And it's only 3 years, and I have a sister your age, so I think that's why I was just like, you're not that cool. But yeah.
40 before I will.
You know what, audience? I want you to be your own kind. And you know what? No matter how old you are, be it 26, 36, about to be 39 and looking amazing, you don't let people bring you down. So, anywho, this was such a great time. I like to laugh. So this is a really great time. So listeners, I hope that you have just picked up on some of these nuggets, and keep continuing and believing in yourself. Until next time, don't forget to be kind to yourself and to each other. Bye.